Hello.
Obviously slightly stressed. Just to prove you are the real Jim, can we see your tattoo of Mick Foley, please?
Yes, there he is.
There he is.
With his signature and Mr. Socko's signature.
Oh, brilliant.
As well. He did tell me I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Because we're quite good mates.
Yeah.
And he's now a mixture of really proud and really freaked out by it.
Oh, yeah.
Mainly freaked out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you get your chance to meet him when he came over to do the stand-up?
I supported him on 3 of the shows.
Oh, wow, excellent,
so,
yeah.
There was a point where I was explaining to him how to make duck pancakes in a Chinese restaurant, which,
Yeah.
you know, not many people have done things like that.
Name drop in there, Jim, name drop.
Yeah, you know that's... I can't do much name dropping, but I can name drop Mick Foley being my mate.
Yeah, oh, excellent. How's Wrestle Talk TV going?
It's not Wrestle Talk, it's Wrestle Talk's the other wonderful
right,
show,
yeah.
done by Joel Ross.
Right, okay.
My one is The Slam, I forgot the name of it.
So, God, I keep names mixed up. Sorry about that, that's a complete error.
It's fine,
yeah.
But they're mates as well.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
But The Slam is going well. Next show is when I get back from WrestleMania.
Oh wow.
Just going to drop that again, I'm going to
Yeah.
So yeah, next show's when I come back from WrestleMania, which will be nice.
Yeah.
Because we'll just do a full review of it. With me going, yeah, I was there. What of it? Yeah, I was hanging out with Mick Foley, I hope. What of it? Hopefully hanging out with Colt Cabana as well after hanging out with him yesterday. So, yeah, all I'm going to do now is just hang out with my celebrity chums and drink my sexy Red Bull.
Okay, let's get on to Progress. So how did this all start up then?
I'm a comedian, which may or may not be apparent. Comedy used to be my hobby.
Right.
And then it became my job, and then writing was my hobby, and then that became my job. Yeah. And then me and John, my agent, who runs Progress with me, we decided we both needed a hobby. He's a comedy promoter, and I'm a professional idiot. Yeah. So we decided to run our own wrestling promotion, which is both awesome and terrifying at the same time. Today, I'm a mixture. We keep alternating between who's stressed and who's not. And today, at the minute, I'm alright because I've got a sexy Red Bull in my veins.
Just gonna keep dropping that Red Bull.
I am. Please, Red Bull, give me things. Beautiful. Gives you wings.
What are the goals for Progress Wrestling then?
To have a good time. That's basically it. We're not expecting to make millions of pounds because we know how wrestling works. Yeah. We are fans who want to have a nice time, and if we have a nice time, we're fairly sure the crowd will have a nice time, and therefore we'll be happy. That's what we want. You know, we want to do a show hopefully every 3 months in central London, and hopefully people will come today, think it kicks ass, and will want to come back again. But we just want to be part. We want to be part of how British wrestling works. We're not trying to take it away from anybody else. We're the only people running shows in central London. Yeah. We want to keep doing that and have people keep coming back and going, oh, brilliant. And if, you know, we make people who perhaps haven't watched wrestling for 10 years because it's in such a cool venue come back and want to watch it again, and then maybe go and watch other shows around the country. It's brilliant. That's what we want to do. We want to help British wrestling grow.
So that's kind of one of the main goals then, is to really help the British wrestling scene.
Absolutely. That's what we came up with the name Progress, is to try and progress it, because you know, I think everyone's aware that everyone has to go to the States or Japan to make a living out of it now, and it'd be great if we could start bringing back, how cool wrestling was. When I was really little in the early 80s, it still was really, really thriving. First match I ever watched on TV was Tiger Mask 1 against Dynamite Kid.
That's awesome.
Second match I ever watched involved Big Daddy and was rubbish. But the first match I ever watched was amazing, and I was only 4. So if we can get it back to people knowing that that's what British wrestling's about, and not just big fat dudes falling over. Don't want that. I mean, don't be wrong. If you are a big fat dude and you want to come and fall over in a ring for us, we do pay competitive rates. Because we're sponsored by Red Bull.
Do you think British wrestling's then got kind of like stigmatised for what it is?
Yeah, I mean, as a comedian, I go and do gigs. I don't. Sometimes I enjoy every gig that I do, but some gigs I enjoy more than others. I enjoy going to the Edinburgh Festival more. I enjoy doing gigs at universities and arts centres more than I do doing gigs in mainstream comedy clubs on a Friday and Saturday night in front of like big parties and stag do's and stuff like that. But I'm aware I pay my mortgage with that sort of stuff. And it's still cooler than having a real job. And I think it's the same for for wrestling in this country, there is the stigma of the sort of holiday camp sort of thing.
Yeah,
and not to take away from it, Matt. If you're a kid and the first time you watch wrestling is at a holiday camp and you become a wrestling fan, then brilliant, job done. That you've created another fan. That's brilliant. That's exactly what we want. But I think people, you know, like my dad's here today, and my dad's stigma of wrestling is Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks.
Yeah.
When it comes to British wrestling, and he's going to be blown away when he watches some of the guys we've got today.
Yeah, excellent. So you're obviously playing some future events. How's that going?
June the 24th is, hopefully, fingers crossed, our next show. So it's another Sunday in the middle of the European Championships. But you won't need to worry, because if you support England, they'll be out.
Something to do.
They'll be gone. So hopefully June 24th will be the next show. Once again here at the garage. Hopefully some sort of time kick-off. And you know, fingers crossed, will be another great show. I mean, you know, we're really pleased with how many tickets we've sold.
How many is it?
We've sold all of our seats, so 200 seats have gone.
That's pretty amazing.
I think we've sold about 50 standing as well. So
yeah,
you know, so we're pretty much close to full for our first ever show. And bearing in mind, me and John love wrestling. We ain't got a clue. When we started, we had no idea what we were doing. We've learned everything. We started this project last August. Yeah. And it's not like we rushed it and went, oh, let's see what we can do. We have tried our best to make this work as best as possible, and fingers crossed.
I'm sure it's a beneficial thing having your, you know, the kind of real fans actually starting up a wrestling promotion. Surely, yeah. Yeah,
I think that's. I mean, I just want people to like wrestling as much as I do, and if it means that we put a show on that everyone just respects and enjoys, then we've won.
So is that kind of some of the main goals for Progress Wrestling then?
Yeah. I mean, the way we're trying to bill it is it's wrestling for grown-ups, but at the same time we're not doing deathmatch stuff because, you know, even though I'm quite a fan of it, John's not so much of a fan, and that's not what we want to be about. We want to be about, you know, my favourite period of wrestling is 1995 All Japan, and if we can have that similar style of wrestling, and we know everyone we've got on the roster can work that style, and more to the point, wants to work that style, then hopefully we can bring that sort of technical wrestling back, because people forget how important. When Mick Foley was over here and I was hanging out with him, he was like, I want to go to the Snake Pit in Wigan.
Oh, of course,
to you know, and he wanted to go and see Dynamite Kid, and he wants to pay homage to what British wrestling used to be like and how tough the guys used to be. But we're still producing brilliant wrestlers, and sometimes they're not necessarily given a chance to show.
No, that's excellent. What is your favourite thing about wrestling then? Is it the kind of strong style of it? Is it the athleticism?
Ladies with boobs. It's not. It really isn't. It really isn't. If you women's wrestling is good unless it's in WWE. You know, people like Pro Wrestling and Shimmer are brilliant. But my favourite thing about wrestling, from my point of view now, I liked wrestling when I was a kid, then stopped liking it. Then when I was a student, got back into it again. And when I got back into liking it, the thing that fascinated me was how it was booked.
Oh, right.
And now I book my own promotion. So it's that bit, you know. I'm always, you know, me and John always sit there and try and predict what's going to happen at WrestleMania and stuff like that, which we'll be doing tonight after this show. And I don't drink, but I might drink today. It's the booking side of it. It's making something work. That is, you know, is essentially ballet plus with a soap opera for dudes. So.
Okay, and one final thing, what does British wrestling need to kind of make it back into the mainstream and get that kind of international respect once again?
I think it's got international respect. You've got to look at how many British guys in the WWE, in Ring of Honor, in Evolve, in wrestling in Japan. You know, these guys have already got a brilliant reputation because they've had such a great learning in So I think it's already got loads of respect. I think people respect it all around the world. You've only got to look at, you know, how well respected someone like William Regal is. Tremendously well respected. Everyone loves him, and there's a reason, because he's great. I think it's really, really well respected around the world. I think in this country is the only place where it needs a little bit of progressing. You know, hence our name. You know, it's not us alone who are trying to do it. We know everyone who promotes a show in Britain is trying to get, and I think through sheer force of being so many good indie feds in the UK, it will rise again, as it were. Phoenix to see. And it will happen. What do you want, John? Stop being so excitable. You're normally really sensible. Don't pick today to be a bell engine, all right? So I think that's it. I think we're already really respected. It's just the more everyone can put the work in, and you know, putting shows on in venues like this is going to help, especially
definitely.
in Central London where people just go, oh, wrestling, that's not happening in ages. Well, it has, and it's happening today.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you.
All the best.
Enjoy Red Bull. Any time of day.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.